to think this country is really stupid and ignorant and selfish because, like, the main character Melid, back when they were studying to become converters, the Melid used his slave owner's name, Mercy's name, to buy medicines for a village that was plagued with a sickness. He got them the medicine, but his master finds out, punishes him for it. The main character tries stepping in to protect the Melid from his master. This infuriates his master more and forces the Melid to start wearing a slave collar, a collar that does not allow him to go against his master unless he wants to be punished, and his master can command that collar whenever he wants to punish the Melid. So I am very much confused why no one is questioning the alliance of the frickin' master, if the master's actually loyal to the throne. Because again, how was the Melid able to go against his country, and go against his master and the master's cousin, the emperor, if he was wearing the collar? Did he get the collar off of him between when he got the collar first put on him and when he left the country? Can someone explain this? Because again, he's literally wearing a collar, a slave collar. Everyone was upset when he was forced to put it on. I am not kidding. I am literally questioning this country's intelligence. So I know 3 things of this series. 1, the main character is going to regret everything he did to the Melid having no memories, and again, this bitch right here. This dude is actually the real bad guy. He's supposedly the guy that made the Melid betray his country. The one who's been controlling the Melid from the satellites and has made the Melid's whole life so horribly. It's this guy. That he should not be trusted as far as he can be thrown. He is like the White Lotus from Husky and his White Cat Shooting. They're literally exactly the same kind of person. Like, I am supposedly been told he's way worse than the dude from Husky and his White Cat Shooting. So this dude, Mercy, invites several people to his brothel to entertain them. He brings the people from the brothel the Melid was left in to entertain people, and he uses the opportunity to mock, ridicule the Melid, and also try to mock and ridicule the main character and the main character's relationship with the Melid, and try to make people dislike and distrust the main character for his past relationships, and that there was probably more going on between the two. Like, this dude has his suspicions about the main character and Melid's relationship, and he's using this as an opportunity to catch the main character and probably also prove that the Melid did not lose his memories. And so he tells the Melid, after he's already been mocked and ridiculed by the inviting guest, to harm the main character by cutting off the main character's arm or allow his own face to be scarred. Well, the Melid actually had a secret technique and era that basically attacks anyone that actually truly brings him too much harm. Basically, a bunch of swords will come out and scratch or cut these people up a bit, not enough to fatally kill them, but enough to hurt them and get them to back off. He even not fatally hurts, but hurts this dude, and I was like, you got what you deserve. And this is when everyone finds out about the era, and the Melid is just like the main character from Demonic Convention. They're both intelligent people who made their own techniques and eras that have benefited people over the years. He's just like the main character from Demonic Convention in an ability to make things, and everyone just assumes this is one of the techniques he built to protect himself. Which this does not please Mercy, so he orders for the Melid to be punished, basically to be whipped repeatedly and then starved. Yes, to only given small portions of food, which again, F him. So after that situation, the main character is convinced that the Melid hasn't actually lost all of his memories, that he's not entirely the mindset of a child or a wolf. He thinks there's more going on with the Melid, that the Melid knows or remembers more than he's informing people. And he's been keeping an eye on the Melid, like watching the Melid. He even sees the Melid try to catch a fish the same way a small child or a wolf would try to catch a fish and fails to catch the fish. And after that, he hadn't seen the Melid, so he's starting to get worried. He knows the Melid is being starved as a punishment, so he goes and sees him. He finds out from one of the servants that works in the brothel that the Melid tried to steal some food out of his starvation and eat some stuff, and his amount of food he was getting had been cut in half some more, so he's being more starved than he was before, and he's been holed up into a shack. So the male lead comes to visit the main character. The main character goes to visit the male lead. So the male lead is already not in a mental or physical great state when the main character comes to see him in his little shack. He even tries attacking the main character with his arrow, but the arrow doesn't affect or harm the main character, and this is when the main character informs the male lead the one who actually created the arrow was the main character himself. He's the one who put the arrow on the male lead, the little lotus symbol on the male lead, with his own blood and his own intentions, and that he has the same one on himself that the male lead had put on him. Yes, he tells this to the male lead. And I was shocked. So they're both ingeniuses when it comes to creating in eras. Also, the main character realizes something that makes him very furious and very disgusted is that the male lead has different eyes. His eyes used to be black and now they are blue. They are blue irises. And this infuriates him. He hadn't noticed it the few times he had seen the male lead, but now he notices the male lead's beautiful eyes have been replaced with new eyes. But they sound just as equally beautiful. So there is another reason why the main character is so upset with the male lead is because they were fooling around with each other and he thought they had a relationship with each other, except when the male lead started going to brothels all the time and supposedly sleeping around in those brothels, the main character goes to question him and the male lead outright tells him they had no relationship. They were just basically F-buddies. This obviously hurts the main character and he's very frustrated and upset because he's obviously being cheated on and was used. And he thought they had more and the male lead just led him on. So he's angry about that. He thought they had more and they didn't. Now I think there's more going on. I do not think the male lead was actually sleeping around in these brothels. He could have actually been. You guys can tell me if I was wrong. But I don't think he was. I think it's the same as Scum Saving System, where everyone thought the original host was going to those brothels and sleeping around when in actuality he was going there to be given affection and attention, given adoration and love, like he was being taken care of. There was no sexual things happening. And one of the times the main character walks in on the male lead, he doesn't see anything sexual going on. He just sees the male lead laying in somebody's lap. And yes, when they first slept together, the male lead told him he slept with both men and women. And when he was, being rough with the male lead said he only ever slept with women and not men. But again, I think there's more going on. Yes, he probably did sleep with women, but when he was being chased around by a woman, when he was flirting with a woman, she outright states that the male lead was promising to sell his body for stuff to pay her back for what he owed her. But he never come back to pay her back. So I think, by sleeping with her, I think there's more going on that the main character does not know about.